Hello and welcome to this episode of Raxio Hour, our weekly news roundup of all that is happening at Uganda's first Tier 3 and truly carrier-neutral data center facility. We've had incredible progress at the Raxio data center construction site in Namanve. You have to see it to believe it. So here's a look at a time-lapse video capturing all the action from ground up. Also this week, we bring you highlights from Uganda's first Network Operators Virtual Summit organized by Uganda Network Operators Group, UGNOG, that featured presentations from industry leaders on the internet, interconnection, data centers, and global routing resilience. Our General Manager, Mr. James Byaruhanga, discussed the case for carrier-neutral data centers to the internet ecosystem. Take a look.
In my opinion, owning the internet isn't just using it. It's the ability for us to be able to understand the technical aspect of it and also have the capacity to design solutions and also maintain it. When I thought of starting UGNOG, I knew this would be like the perfect platform for us to, do just that and be able to support that and have our goal as capacity building and technology development. So that said, UGNOG family, I would like to officially launch UGNOG.
To move on to the next speaker, next on we have Byaru from Raxio Data Centers, and he will be presenting to us on the case for carrier-neutral data centers to the internet ecosystem. James, over to you.
So why I find this really interesting is obviously because data centers have started to evolve here, and it started later than maybe it's the rest of the world, but we're starting to see a growth in data centers, especially neutral data centers, where you are encouraging CDNs and cloud platforms and ISPs and telcos and fiber carriers to kind of like aggregate and build this one meet-me location or two meet-me locations that join inevitably the local internet exchange points and become a nice place to kind of like bring and aggregate the internet into the country and then also break out from the country. So this is how you categorize almost every data center. But my topic today was to really focus on co-location data centers because that's where we're finding a lot of the growth and driving the internet coming from. So specifically about our data center, the first one we're building is in Uganda, which I guess is what makes it interesting for UGNOG as well, and also for us. So the current neutral data center we're building is Tier 3 based on Uptime Institute definition. It's about 15 kilometers from the city, 1.5 megawatts of IT power for now. But we're looking at 4 megawatts of power at full capacity, 400 racks on the floor, and so far we've 10 carrier partners, local carriers for connectivity, and we've got a bunch of international partners who have come up as well, who are ready to basically bring in fast. And we've got some wholesale partners to basically onward sell smaller packages to the SME market, and those guys who can't afford a minimum one rack requirement. We are now targeted for December launch. It's been a moving target, obviously, because of the pandemic and struggling to get people to come in and complete the installations, as well as, of course, shipment and movement of stuff. But when it's done, it will look like this, and we think we're about 80% there. Fingers crossed. We're trying to make sure that we can deliver this because it makes all our life really easier, especially the internet community. What's really the value of carrier-neutral data centers? For the enterprise market, it's heavily around disaster recovery. It's about business continuity, so that you have business moving on smoothly. We've had serious cases in Uganda where systems continuously go down because obviously a lot of people are not either running active and passive sites or on-site and remote site continuously. We have lots of issues. Lately we've been experiencing a lot of random fires, which is very unusual, but that obviously affects business continuity. We have fiber cuts due to road construction, which is another thing that happens in Uganda all the time, surprisingly. So the data centers help with DR and business continuity for the enterprises. That's not as exciting for us who are usually in the internet community. What we really find exciting is stuff like cross-connect, right? So if you're in the ISP segment or telco segment, or if you're connected to the IXP, or if you're in the carrier segment, whether it's global or local, you find cross-connect is exciting for you because that's how you provide services to your customer. And also that's how you basically improve on their performance. So we want to basically facilitate cross-connect because we don't have this one location in Uganda or two locations that are great for cross-connect. Like right now, for everyone who's bringing in capacity or buying capacity in Uganda, exchanging capacity, we are kind of distributed all over the place. So part of what we've done is reached a discussion with Kyle. He will be extending the IXP to Raxio. We already have discussion with SICOM, people like Miner and Tinker. We're going to have SICOM extend their POP there. We're talking with Work Online also to see that they extend their POP. So those are the kind of things that facilitate cross-connect, which makes internet really work. At the end of the day, internet is an interconnection network, and that's really what it should be. So you have to make sure that all these things kind of work together. Now, another thing we really want to bring on the table as a value, which basically carrier neutral data centers do, is resilience, redundancy, as well as diversity or connectivity. So we want to basically be able to have our customers or customers of our carrier partners to be able to have multiple routes, multiple fiber routes into the data center with on diverse paths, some level of redundancy in terms of how are they dual stacking also, and significant amount of resilience in this infrastructure as well. So we built some shared ducts for people to be able to actually drop into the door about half a kilometer away, facing different directions of the data center, coming into room A and B, and that's the design of most data centers, to basically be able to provide you with A and B feeds on power, on connectivity, on cooling, on fire suppression, and all those different kinds of things. But ultimately, the one thing that really makes the stuff come to life is the economies of scale, because you're able to aggregate everyone's requirements and fit them with the same common infrastructure they need. Data centers depend on space, power, and cooling, and connectivity. So the more people you have sharing this kind of key constraints, as they call them, it makes your life easy. So we want to basically bring scale to be able to exciting for the local players and international players to be in the same roof. We can't avoid the question of security right now, and we've never been able to avoid it when it comes to data. Data is sensitive. It's the new gold, as everyone calls it. So also a lot of carrier neutral data centers that have built up spec levels. They have security top of mind in terms of access control, CCTV, perimeter security, caging, the whole shebang, CCTV, all those different things. And we are basically also going for the same direction. So when you look at a bunch of these things, these are the ones that kind of make it a very exciting and funky place to be. And when you are thinking about what you're really looking to build the internet in your region, these are some of the things that are missing in Uganda, for example. The places where we have some level of data center availability right now, there's one or two things that are not quite up to speed, and this is what we're trying to address. Yes, and as I mentioned, it's a nice environment for local and regional carriers to cross-connect in a given location. So when you have a subsea carrier or a regional carrier being able to extend in country and cross-connect to a local carrier to extend to the customer and extend to the public space, it's great. Most of the CDNs have very stringent requirements. They want to dual stack, they need a stable power system, and they need good cooling, they need efficiency, they need scale, they need security, and it makes a good place for CDN collocation. I guess finally is that it also basically creates a nice, comfortable bed for the future of the ecosystem. We all know where everything is evolving to. It's IoT, it's AI, it's VR, cybersecurity, which is becoming quite a big topic in Uganda right now. We have quite a lot of cybersecurity related issues in the last couple of weeks with big enterprises. Cloud computing, without doubt, is going to drive the SME industry in the biggest SME market in Kenya. And then, of course, the dependence on big data analytics by enterprises to make business decisions. All these things need to sit somewhere, and they need to meet somewhere and integrate somewhere. And that's basically what carrier neutral data centers present. So yeah, in a nutshell, I think it's the heartbeat, it's the foundation for everything, and I think it's currently the biggest catalyst. So you need to think about how you can plug into it. That's pretty much it from me.
Thank you so much, James. That was definitely interesting.
Congratulations to the Uganda Network Operators Group upon a successful launch event. Together, let's build the African Internet ecosystem. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our social media platforms for more exciting updates. That's at Raxio UG on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Until next time, stay safe.